7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This program contains violent content which may be too intense for some. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Thank you for joining me today. I see we got some in the chat. Mystery Christie, thank you for joining us today. Ruckus Rocks, thank you, boy. Thanks for sharing my community post on this case also today. I really appreciate it. And Andrew, we've got you here. Thank you. Today I wanted to, you're actually going to get me twice today. This live is going on at the same time an event is going on for Lauren Spierer in Bloomington, Indiana. And I wanted to show my support for Lauren and her family. Since I am in Wisconsin and can't be there, I thought I would come on at the same time and we would go over this case. So, I just want to say welcome to you true crime enthusiasts, to anybody who's watched the channel before or who is a new viewer. We appreciate you being in here. So like I said, today we're going to delve into the mysterious case that has haunted the city of Bloomington for over a decade. Today is the 12-year anniversary that Lauren Spierer went missing. It's a case that remains unsolved, leaving her family and friends desperate for answers. So let's take a look at this case and see what happened. So on June 3rd, 2011, Lauren Spierer, a 20-year-old college student at Indiana University, vanished without a trace. The last confirmed sighting of her was at approximately 4:30 a.m. after a night of drinking and partying with her friends. She was walking down 11th Street toward College Avenue in downtown Bloomington. So as I said, her and her friends were out. They were at Kilroy's. She then went off with a friend to his apartment and then headed home. Now, this friend walked her, I believe, to the road, to the corner. I don't remember exactly. And watched her walk away the short distance to her apartment, but she never made it there. So just want to say hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us. So Lauren's night began innocently enough as she and her friend, David Rohn, left her Smallwood Plaza apartment to meet up with some friends. They went to Kilroy's that night, and they ended up at Jay Rosenbaum's, where Corey Rossman and Mike Beth were also present. After spending some time at Rosenbaum's place, Lauren and Corey left for Kilroy Sports Bar, arriving around 1:46 a.m. They left the bar at approximately 2:25 a.m. and walked back to the Smallwood Plaza apartments. It was the apartment building that they encountered a group of young men who reportedly attacked Corey. In the chaos, the details of what transpired next remain hazy. Surveillance cameras captured Lauren and Corey leaving the apartments together and walking back towards the 5th North townhomes. And we'll take a look at that surveillance here in just a little bit. Once they reached the townhomes, Mike Beth took Corey to his apartment and put him to bed, while Lauren decided to return to Jay Rosenbaum's townhome, 2 doors down from Beth's. Rosenbaum and Beth claimed that Lauren wanted to continue drinking at Rosenbaum's place, but they wanted to end the night. So Rosenbaum offered her his couch. But she didn't want to stay and left the townhome at 4:30 a.m., heading east on 11th Street. This is where she was never seen again. The disappearance of Lauren sent shockwaves through the community and across the nation. Within days, her case gained widespread attention on social media and attracted the support of celebrities such as Kim Kardashian and Ryan Seacrest. So, despite the media coverage and a ground search organized by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, no leads emerged. The investigation reached a turning point when authorities identified 10 persons of interest, including Corey and Mike Beth. Now, Lauren's family has offered a $100,000 reward for information all these years. They just want their daughter back. And who could blame them? So one of the pages that I follow on Facebook, I'm going to share this with you so that you all can see this. There we go. It's the official Lauren Spierer updates from her family. And if we scroll through, I believe her mom posts a lot of things on here. And in this post, there's a bench. And it says, in memory of Lauren Spierer, don't follow where the path leads. Rather go where there's no path and leave a trail. And there's all kinds of information and updates, pictures, missing posters of Lauren. I mean, this one here, there's so many pictures of her family, her on there. Just trying to keep this story out front. So, I'm going to scroll through here a little bit. So one of this was on January 17th of 2022. And it says, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. A life well lived, albeit too short. Always loved, always in our hearts. Happy birthday, dear Lauren. So they have the official Facebook page, which I will put a link to that in the description of this video since I forgot. And that way you guys can all see it, like it, follow it, because this case definitely needs to come back to the forefront. Lauren today has been gone as of 12 years today. They still have not found her remains. She is assumed to be deceased because no one has heard from her or seen her. But they don't know what happened to her. There's a lot of theories out there. So one of the other pages that I wanted to share with you real quick, it's findlauren.com, the search for Lauren Spierer. And it gives information. So it tells you that Lauren is 4'11", 95 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. It shows that she was last seen wearing black pants, white tank top with a white top. And it gives a description of what her family has been going through, and please to help find Lauren. So I will also put a link to this in the description at the end. So what exactly happened that night? Well, it's a college town in Indiana, right? So college kids, they go out with their friends, they drink, they have a good time. It's just like you and I did when we were almost 21, I guess, or able to drink at the age of 18 back in the day. They go and they spend time together, they dance, they listen to music, they drink. They just have a great time with each other. And for her to be walking home at 4:30 in the morning, single, beautiful girl, probably wasn't the smartest idea to be walking alone. But back then, that's what we did, right? We took chances. We didn't see any issues with it. We didn't think anything was going to happen to us. But it did to Lauren. It did that night, or that early morning. So we know there's surveillance footage from several buildings and streets that capture Lauren around campus the night she vanished. But then those videos don't show her anymore. She's just gone. She vanished like a ghost, just gone. We're assuming that somebody picked her up and took her who knows where. So over the last 10 years, Bloomington police have worked with the FBI. They've looked at the surveillance footage. They've conducted interviews with hundreds of people. And they've done land searches. They're trying to locate her remains. That hasn't happened yet. And that's one of the things that we want to make sure to get out in this video. If you're in that area, or even the surrounding areas, you're walking through the woods, always be on the lookout. You never know what you're going to find that may help Lauren's family bring her home, or another family bring another individual home. So her family still holds out hope throughout all these years that her disappearance is going to be solved. We hold out that hope too. So I'm not sure how many of you in the chat here know about this case. I know that there's videos all over. In fact, we are going to take a look at a video right now. And it's the video of the surveillance. So let me get that up. And let me get it on the screen here. Let me know if you can hear this. Hang on. I am just trying to get through the ad here.
Finding the missing Indiana University student Lauren Spierer. They say witnesses last saw the 20-year-old headed home barefoot and alone after a night of partying. That was nearly 2 weeks ago now. The latest images come from a security camera, according to the authorities. Here's one of them, which police say shows Lauren just hours before she disappeared. There are others they'd like you to see. Steve Brown with that from our Midwest Bureau. They released photos of a pickup truck. What's the significance here?
Security cameras in the same neighborhood that Spierer disappeared from was seen circling a block in that area. And police, after saying yesterday they didn't want to describe the vehicle, today released pictures of this particular vehicle. A pickup truck, 4-door, short bed, a Chevy Silverado or Colorado with apparently some lettering on the door. Police don't say it's a suspect inside, but they do want to talk to a person or persons that were in the vehicle when the pictures were taken. Shep?
Family members say they're still very hopeful that she's out there somewhere.
Lauren Spierer's cell phone and keys were recovered shortly after she was reported missing in the same neighborhood she was last seen. So that image from the earlier in this story of her on that security camera, that's the last known image. And family members at a news conference today say when they take a look at it, they see much more.
I think if you look closely at the content in this picture, you will see who Lauren is. She's a happy, smiling, beautiful young lady on her way out for the evening to meet with friends.
And Spierer's father believes that she is being held by a person or persons. Lauren Spierer has been missing now for 12 and a half days.
Steve Brown, Chicago tonight. Steve, thanks.
So that video was done 11 years ago. And that was by Fox News Insider. So Andrea says the reporter, Steve Brown, on that video is the investigative reporter on Fox 59 working on the floor fires now. Wow. How time flies. I'm going to bring up one more video here. Maybe. There we go.
Today marks 7 years.
So this would be 4 years ago.
Today marks 7 years since Indiana University student Lauren Spierer disappeared in Bloomington. And despite thousands of tips, we still don't know what happened to her. The 20-year-old sophomore vanished on June 3rd, 2011 after a night out partying with friends, but she never made it home. Friends last saw her walking alone in an alley. Bloomington police are still investigating this case, and Lauren's parents continue to work with a private investigator as well. Charlene Spierer today described what she calls the most heart-wrenching experience of their lives. She said in part, "I never could have imagined we would still be searching for Lauren 7 years later. I end this now as I start each morning, hoping today will be the day." We have a link on WTHR.com tonight where you can read the family's entire statement and report information anonymously about the Spierer case. Today marks...
All right. So as you can see, her family is very involved in this. They advocate for Lauren and finding Lauren, especially with the 2 sites that I showed you. And so we're going to talk about some theories that have gone on throughout the years of what may have happened to her. Her purse, newly purchased RX from Walmart, still in front seat, I think, flat tire on car door on. Is this a different case? Okay, that's a different case. Okay. So let's look at some of these theories that they have. Let's see. Just taking a look here. So it said that, now this was 4:30 in the morning, so it said she wanted to continue drinking. And that is why she went back to Rosebaum's place. Apparently everybody was done, but Lauren was still raring to go. She still had energy and was up. But decided since everybody was going to go back to bed that she was going to go home. So, let's see. So I know that there was many ground searches done in this case. I know that they searched by Lake Monroe based on anonymous tips. And actually in Lake Monroe, but they didn't find any evidence near the lake or in the lake. I know that this case was featured on America's Most Wanted on June 11, 2011. Authorities say they received approximately 350 tips after that program aired. But none of the tips led to the discovery or whereabouts of Lauren. So that's crazy how they got 350 tips and nothing resulted from those 350 tips. The day is hot. I am here, and there's not a lot of people here. Oh, that's sad. That's very sad. I was hoping for a big turnout there. I know that today that they are in Bloomington. They are hanging up posters of Lauren and, just trying to bring her back into the forefront. I'm sure the community's never forgotten about her, but they're trying to get people to remember and to call in any tips. Thank you, True Crime News, for that information. Glad you're there. Hi, Randy. How are you doing? So I was talking about America's Most Wanted. They received 350 tips after the program aired, but nothing resulted from those tips. This broadcast also inspired law enforcement agencies and volunteers to continue searching for Lauren. And IndyStar reported as many as 1,000 people a day went searching for her around Bloomington and the surrounding areas. Now, in June of 2011, authorities revealed more details about the morning Spierer vanished. They talked about maps, enhanced surveillance images, and a timeline from the time Spierer left her apartment to the time she was seen walking down 11th Street. They've always continued questioning her friends and her boyfriend, Jesse Wolf, who was not present the morning that she disappeared. Between June and July, authorities and volunteers searched the Hoosier National Forest and the Sycamore Ridge landfill. I sent a video for you to air. Oh, cool. I will get that on the POI for Lauren. Great. I will bring that up here in just a minute. So as you can imagine, the Hoosier National Forest and the landfill are going to be two large areas. And it's going to be hard to search all those areas. I mean, the National Forest, you're going to have rugged areas, you're going to have flat areas, lots of areas with trees, trails. I mean, it's usually very hard to find an individual in that area unless they're right off of a trail or right on a trail, right? So, same thing with the landfill. I mean, we know that bodies have gone into landfills and, they've found parts of them. They've found bodies, but in a lot of situations, they don't find anything because the landfills are so massive. And unless they know exactly where the person may have been put into a dumpster, they don't know where to search. And in those searches, nothing significant was ever found. So the last person that saw her we talked about was Jay Rosenbaum. And he did cooperate with authorities and consented to take a polygraph. And he passed that polygraph examination. In early 2012, the case, the reward for any information was increased to $250,000. And now here's the kicker of this. There's been bodies of several women that were found in the months and years after Lauren vanished. And none of those were truly linked up, connected to Lauren at all. So eventually the searches were called off and tips dwindled. And this has become a cold case. It's sad. We know that this happens. Police are asked if it's a cold case, and they always say no, that they're still working on it. But without some concrete evidence or tips for the police to go on, nothing's moved forward in this case. It's stalled. It's at a stalemate. Nomad63, thanks so much for giving Lauren some well-deserved attention. And absolutely. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give these cases attention. And this one needs more attention. Needs to come back to the forefront. We need to find Lauren. And like I said, it's been 12 years. It's going to take a miracle. Somebody in the right place at the right time finding something. Bones, other evidence, things of that sort. So one of the theories of this is that Jesse Wolf, Lauren's boyfriend, did something to her and had something to do with her disappearance. But like I said, he passed a polygraph. Now, can polygraphs be fooled? Yep, some people can do it. So his family is very frustrated and has been frustrated with the accusations made against Jesse, who was not even in Bloomington on the morning that Lauren disappeared. Reports are that Lauren and Jesse exchanged text messages in the hours prior to Spierer vanishing. So that theory, that avenue, that rabbit hole has been gone through, and nothing has come about it. Another theory was that the alcohol and drugs may have been a factor in her disappearance. It's been reported that Lauren would use drugs and alcohol to the point where she would black out. Jesse had threatened to tell her parents on several occasions that she was drinking too much and blacking out. But Lauren always threatened to end their relationship if he did. Now, that's Jesse's version of it. Is that the truth? We don't know. We do know that Lauren had been diagnosed with a rare heart condition and had warned her against using alcohol and drugs. And we do know that she was excessively drunk that morning. So one of the theories on that is that she either overdosed or had a medical emergency related to her heart condition from drinking all night. But you would think that if that happened, somebody would have found her because she was walking down the road. She wouldn't have just vanished. So if you go back to before she walked down on her own, could that have happened at the friend's apartment and they freaked out and took her somewhere and hit her body? We don't know. So I'm assuming, let me just get this downloaded here. And get this on my other screen. Hang on, having trouble here. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. There we go. It's because it was hidden. Now I believe, and I'm going to blow this up. I don't know if this is the boyfriend or if this is a POI. But I have to look here and find out. So let's take a look at this video here on persons of interest. I'm going to get this up and running. I'm going to mute this because I think it's an ad, and if it is, oh, nope, hang on. Here we go. John Myers, that was. Okay. Let me play this for you. This is by True Crime News, who created this.
Coming up. Right. Anthony Greeno travels to Bloomington. Today, we're going to investigate the murder of Hannah Wilson and the disappearance of Lauren Spierer, both Indiana University students who went out for a night on the town at Kilroy's. One brutally murdered and the other no one can find. Are these cases connected? This is our person of interest, Daniel.
All right, hang on. I don't know why you're not getting any sound. Present, share screen. All right, let's try this again.
Coming up. Right. Anthony Greeno travels to Bloomington. Today, we're going to investigate the murder of Hannah Wilson and the disappearance of Lauren Spierer, both Indiana University students who went out for a night on the town at Kilroy's. One brutally murdered and the other no one can find. Are these cases connected? This is our person of interest, Daniel Messel. In April 2015, 22-year-old Hannah Wilson was out partying with some friends at this popular sports bar. When her friends noticed she was too intoxicated to continue partying, they put her in a cab and sent her home. She was dropped off around 8th and Dunn Street in Bloomington, but she never made it inside. So what exactly happened to Hannah Wilson? Another person who was out that night was 50-year-old Daniel Messel. This is video surveillance footage from another bar not too far from the one Hannah and her friends were at. At approximately 11:30 p.m. on the night in question, Messel is seen leaving with a friend. After dropping his friend off at home, Messel is also caught on camera in his 2003 Kia, circling the area of Kilroy's. What happens next is bone-chilling by design. As Hannah is being put into the cab and driven home, a strange coincidence. There is that 2003 Kia following the cab. It's Dan Messel. Prosecutors allege Messel stalked Wilson, and at the moment she was alone, he struck. Messel abducted Hannah and attempted to drive her to a secluded location just outside the city. At some point, Hannah became coherent enough to fight back. Messel then knocked her unconscious and drug Hannah across the driver's side portion of the car in an attempt to rape her. Due to her resistance, Messel became enraged and grabbed his heavy-duty mag flashlight, striking Hannah in the head 4 to 5 times. At some point, he realized that Hannah was dead. He left her body on the side of the road in an abandoned lot alongside Plum Creek near State Road 45, about 18 miles northeast of Bloomington. But in Hannah's final moments, she managed to gain the most vital piece of evidence that would lead to the arrest of her killer. When cops discovered Hannah's body, lying underneath her feet was a bright red cell phone. It belonged to Daniel Messel. Daniel failed to appear for work the day Hannah's body was found at a local printing company. When police met with Messel at his father's home, he had scratches on his forearms and was carrying a bag, his clothes, with Hannah's DNA. This is the same outfit Messel was seen wearing earlier in the evening at the trivia bar. A search was conducted of his vehicle, and blood spatter and hair was found near the center console. It was all Hannah's. Dan Messel was arrested on site and in 2016 was convicted of murder. But it doesn't stop there. After his arrest, several other IU girls came forward with allegations of being harassed and sexually assaulted. They all pointed the finger at the same man. Messel was also charged and convicted of being a habitual offender and sentenced to an additional 15 years. Due to the violent nature of his crime, he will have to serve 80% of his 105-year sentence in the Indiana Department of Corrections. But let's backtrack to before the incident with Hannah Wilson. It's July 2011 when Lauren Spierer was also out drinking at Kilroy's. She was last seen with a friend, Corey Rossman. Corey has claimed no involvement with Lauren's disappearance and has since lawyered up and refuses to talk to the media. But if the last person to see Lauren really had nothing to do with her disappearance, then who did?
So now you know when I mentioned that there was other girls found in the area, Hannah was one of them. We're going to bring on Anthony, who is on site at the location. Hello there.
Going on? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm hot. I'll tell you that. Very, very hot out today.
Not a lot of people there, unfortunately.
No, not a lot of people have not seen her parents or anybody that I would say that I recognize from the media. Mostly just people that probably follow the case very closely, it seems, that are interested in handing out flyers, that maybe know her or were around here at the time. Some people don't know her at all from what it looks like, never even heard of it, and just saw something on Facebook and decided that it's probably a good thing to do, you know?
So there's people there that have never heard of the case.
Yeah, there are some. Yep. Never heard of it, didn't know who that was. Shocked that it even had happened. Never heard the name of it. And it's just interesting because it's like, I figured that people would know that, you know?
Yeah, especially since it was on America's Most Wanted and other programs like that. I mean,
Yeah,
you would think everybody would know about it.
you would think, and they don't, and that's sad to see. But you know what? At least they're getting to know the story now. And I told everybody, I said, look, if you really want to know it all, there's a findlauren.com page
Yes.
that's run by her mom. There's a lot of information on there. It's a lot of theories that go into this. I know you were talking just a minute ago about theories.
Yeah.
A lot of theories with the drug thing. Maybe she was dumped in the Ohio River. I've been contacted by a man named David Hayden, who was actually in prison with the man you just watched, Daniel Messel. And David Hayden says that he wrote a 20-something page letter to the court and said that he helped move Lauren Spieer's body with Dan Messel, and that she was wearing, and told what she was wearing. He said that she had a lot of rings on one hand. She was wearing black pants, a white top, and she had on a black thong. And the thing that investigators looked into on that is that he was accurate on her underwear, and you can't tell what kind of underwear she's wearing by looking at pictures of her. You can't see her underwear.
No.
So for someone to have that kind of information seems pretty credible. But the problem with David Hayden is he's in and out of mental institutions for his psychiatric issues that he has, and he's not deemed as a credible witness or a person because he has these psychological issues. And
he still should be able to tell them where they buried her, and they can go and look, right?
He probably could, but the problem is if they end up finding her and they made an arrest because of that, the defense is going to pick apart that and say, well, you got this crazy guy out here talking all this crazy stuff. He's not credible. We're going to suppress that evidence, Judge. And
her family would get her back.
It would find a closure, but it would also let the perpetrator go, I think. Unless it's Dan Messel, he's in prison for the rest of his life anyway.
But that's if it was him.
Huh?
That's if he did it.
If it was him, correct. It could have been one of the gentlemen that she was with that night. Corey, Jay, any one of those people. Wolf, any one of those people. Could have been anyone. And those are all persons of interest in the case. I'm going to try to get a comment from the police and see if they got anything that they can update with. I know that they always say it's not a cold case. We're still working on this. But what classifies as a cold case, they always say it's when we're not getting any more tips. But, there's people out there, I could call a tip in every day. It doesn't mean it's going to be a good tip. But
when is the last time they got a tip?
I couldn't say that. I couldn't say when last time they got a tip, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be today. They're probably going to get some tips today.
I hope so.
They probably will, and I encourage people. I'm like, hey, look, research this before you go just jumping on and making a conclusion. Or if you happen to know somebody that is mentioned in this, try to think back to those time periods and stuff.
Right. Because somebody has to know something.
Someone
just does not vanish.
Yeah, for no reason.
Off of the main street.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And it's literally, it's right down here. It's like her apartment is a block away from the area where she went missing.
Right.
Literally. And she's next door to the sheriff's department, which has cameras everywhere. I don't see how that could have happened at 11th and College. I'll show you guys the area when I get back and put my video together. It doesn't make any sense when you look at it. You're like, how does someone just show up missing right here? Like, this is not an area you would expect. We're in public. We're right here in the middle of everybody.
Okay, so if there were cameras by the sheriff's office, how far away from the sheriff's office was she supposedly last seen?
Like a block or two.
Okay, so they wouldn't have gotten that on camera.
Yeah, not very far at all. So I sent you some pictures of an individual, and I want you to pull them up. So we'll pull them up in order that you got them.
Okay.
And I want to explain something to the people watching this. So the people that watched that video just now of the person of interest. Now, this is a person of interest according to the Brown County prosecutor, myself, and some other investigators. He's never been charged in this crime. It's just
Okay.
these circumstances are very, very, very likely that it could have been this person. So this is John Myers. Now, John Myers, and I sent a picture of him. I think it's whatever the next picture is black and white.
Yep.
Just so you can see it with a sketch that we're going to look at here in just a minute. So John Myers was convicted of killing a girl named Jill Berman back in the year 2000. And Jill also went missing in Bloomington. John was convicted on circumstantial evidence. Okay, so his situation was that he lived in the area near where her bike was found. Investigators thought that he could be a person of interest. They arrested him. He was held in jail. He confessed. However, there was three other people that came forward and said they were responsible for the murder, of Jill. Police dismissed that because they had a confession. And so this guy still claims that he was coerced and that he is innocent in the murder case of Jill Berman. He appealed his conviction. That's Jill there.
Okay, so this
He
is
appealed his
Jill.
conviction and won on an appeal based on ineffective assistance of counsel. Then the prosecutor filed an appeal on that appeal, and they won. So now the conviction stands. It's over. There's no more appealing anything. He's stuck in prison for 65 years. He's been in prison for some time now, over 20 years. So that's Jill. Now, they released a sketch in the Jill Berman case of what they said to be the suspect. And that is the sketch right there. Now, if we look at that, we say, does that look like the man that we just saw? I don't seem to think that does not look like that guy at all. I don't think.
No.
Do you think so?
No.
Okay. So in doing this, we're also we're going back in time, because this happened at a different time period. Okay, so if we go back in time to another photo of another individual, we go look at Dan Messel again, and Messel was arrested around the same time that Jill Berman's case happened. Okay, and if we look at Daniel Messel when he was a little bit younger, there's a mugshot. That's Daniel Messel right there. At the time that Jill Berman was murdered, that's Messel.
Okay.
Now, if you compare Messel to that sketch,
oh, wow.
you may actually have the person right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn. That's close.
Yeah. So that's almost right on the point for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like him. The prosecutor thinks it's him. It's his MO. He was circling the area of Kilroy's where Lauren went missing. What was his motive in the first place?
It's even got the double chin, Anthony.
Do what?
It's even got like the double chin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they are. That's an identical picture, I think, of. That's Dan Messel to me. I can't see anything but that's the guy right there.
Well, pretty darn close.
It's pretty darn close. And if we think about what happened to Hannah Wilson, she was at Kilroy's. She was drinking with some friends. They put her in a cab, sent her home. He follows her. He finds a drunk girl. He was there hanging out. He finds a drunk girl. He follows her. He waits till she's alone, and he grabs her. And he takes her somewhere, and he rapes her. And he's done this to multiple people, not just Hannah.
Right.
Multiple
other girls came forward afterwards.
Yes, and said that, hey, this is the guy, and his DNA matched. He was the rapist, serial rapist. Now, he has done this multiple times. He killed Hannah because she fought back. Okay. Right. And he probably didn't mean to kill her. He probably just wanted to stop her from doing whatever she was doing so he could subdue her. But Lauren was also a cute college girl that went missing right after she left Kilroy's. She was obliterated drunk where she dropped her keys and cell phone in the alley. She had to be carried home by one of the gentlemen. He said he went home and passed out. She leaves. She's seen talking to a shadowy figure on the corner of 13th and College, or 11th and College, and is never seen again. Well, either one of those guys are responsible, or Daniel Messel showed up and grabbed her and took her somewhere. Or there's even another individual named Israel Keys, who's a serial killer that happened to be in Bloomington at that time. His phone pinged on the south end of Bloomington at the time that Lauren went missing. This is Israel Keys. He's a serial killer that killed a girl in Alaska and traveled around the United States with kill kits and would just kill people.
Okay, hang on one second. I think this is what Boston might have been trying to tell me. Yes. Israel Keys was in Indiana doing construction work. There's another lady not far, Nancy Lyons, June 2002. Car found in middle of road, found her body weeks later in a cornfield. Her purse, newly purchased RX from Walmart, still in front seat. I think flat tire and car door. Her car door was open. I think it said her body was found in Columbus, Indiana cornfield, not far from Bloomington. Okay. Yep. So, wow, we got 3 different theories. It was either A, one of the friends did it, B, Dan Mezzle, or now C, the serial killer.
Yeah, Israel Keys.
Wow.
Could be any one of those people. Could be none.
I think those 3 theories are better than, like, she had a medical emergency because of her heart condition and drinking. They would have found her.
Why didn't you just call the police if that was the case? Yep.
But then that could lead back to she never left the friend's house. Something happened to her there.
Right.
They panicked. She died.
Yeah, they panicked and she died. And they got rid of her. But to get rid of someone, man, that's hard to do. Like that takes some effort. You need more than one person usually.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to bury someone or hide them, you need somewhat of a plan. And most people in that situation, they don't have a plan. Like, well, what we're going to do is we got these equipment and this is how we're going to do it. It's on a spur of the moment thing. They don't have time to think and they're wanting to hurry and get it over with. So it's kind of scary to think that how she's just gone for 12 years.
I know.
12 years today.
So, Anthony, Miss Thing says, Marv and Greeno, if either of you ever want a guest who knows these cases, my friend Shelly is hosting the Lauren event today. She has been on it from day one.
Okay, then
that
Shelly
would be great.
Shelly may be actually the person that I talked to, reached out. I can't figure out who's who here. There's a bunch of people. So I actually seen Shelly on Facebook, reached out to her. I'm waiting a response back. I haven't got a message back, but I'm like anticipating that I'll probably get one here soon. If she sees that message request thing, she should let me know. So if you can contact Shelly, whoever that is in the chat, tell her to check her message request from Anthony Greeno, please. So because I'm here and that's what I'm here for, is that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for.
And JM says, yes, lots of Keys connections. Wow.
Yep. So what we're going to do.
What kind of serial killer was this guy?
What kind?
Yeah. What was his MO?
His anything, man. He would take his battery out of his phone. He lived in Alaska. Okay. He would take his battery out of his phone and run up and kidnap a girl or kidnap some people and kill him, and then travel from, let's say he did this in Indianapolis, Indiana. The next time his phone turned on, he would be in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so they didn't have any clue of where he was. And then along the road, people would show up missing from point A to point B, and they're like, well, we don't have any suspects in these cases. This guy's pretty slick. What about him, man? And they started asking him questions, and he started giving him information, but he had things that he wanted. He's like, okay, well, if I'm going to give you this information, I'm going to need access to the internet. He's in jail now. I'm going to need access to the internet. I'm going to need this cigar. I'm going to need to go smoke this many times a day. I'm going to need these things. I'm going to need a bed. I'm going to need a nice mattress. You bring those things to me, I'll keep giving you information.
Ooh, I hate them kind of.
And then he killed himself with a razor blade in his jail cell.
Oh, my God.
And he marked, they knew that he had 12 victims that he admitted of. He scratched 13 scratches on the wall in blood before he died. What's the 13th one for? No one knows. No one knows what the 13th mark is for. But they said there's got to be another person out there that we don't know about that he has killed. And they did drop a picture of Lauren Spierer right in front of him and said, where's this girl at? And he looked at him and he said, that's how clueless you guys are, isn't it? That was his response. That's how clueless you are on all this. He was toying with them.
Wow. Nomad63 says, Keys has been my suspect all along. I can't believe you've not heard of him, Marv. But then this Dan guy is overwhelmingly sus also.
Very much so, Nomad. Very much so. Very, very compelling evidence against Dan Messel.
Oh, wow.
Just no conviction there. And you got a crazy dude giving the story. So, I mean, I would at least believe him. You know, I'm tempted to take David Hayden out to wherever he assumes is happening, which he says is in an area near where Hannah Wilson was found, and ask for permission to go look with whoever owns that property. Can we look here for this girl? If there's something that needs to be dug up, man, we will ask permission. Please, please let us look. Just let us look.
I wonder how much it would cost us to get that ground penetrating radar.
You know what? There is a man in Kokomo that I do know that has that. So, and he's a pretty prominent figure in Kokomo at Foster Park. David Foster is his name, actually. Has that kind of stuff. And he's a pretty good advocate for missing and murdered persons. He actually helped Michael Catt one time with a thing that he was doing about an Indian chief, and they didn't want to dig up anything. They wanted to look. So I do know that this guy has it. Maybe he could help. If there's anybody out there that knows anybody else that could help, that would be really cool. Just to put a contact in and see. It doesn't hurt unless we ask. All we can get is no, you know.
Well, that way we could use that first, and then if there's, you know, the ground isn't right, then possibly dig. But
exactly. So what looks like it's going to happen here today is a lot of flyer handing out, a lot just mingling with different people just talking. So I'm going to go mingle with some people, talk to some people, see what I can come up with, hand out flyers and see if I can get, yeah, I'm here. I'm right here. I just don't know where she's at. There's a group of people over here. I can still see them right there. I'm trying to stand in the shade. I'm here and I don't know where the other group of people is. There's another group of people here. So I'm with a small group of people, and there's another group of people here, but I don't know how, if these people have flyers here. I don't know if they're associated with.
She's going to be one that's handing out flyers.
Okay, there's a bunch of people here with a few flyers. Not a bunch, but I mean, there's several of them, and I have some too. So
where are you at right now?
I'm right across from the Bluebird. So
the Bluebird?
Yeah.
Miss Thing, if you can let her know.
Yeah, I tell you what. When I get on here, I'm gonna jump off here and go meet up with them because they're getting further away from me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go meet up with them, but I'm gonna check my Facebook messages and see if Shelly has messaged me back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ask for her.
Okay. Yeah, go ask around. Somebody's got to know her.
I'll know her. I'll find her. I see her picture on Facebook. I'll recognize her when I see her. Okay.
All right. Thanks for doing.
Enjoy the stream. I'll let you guys know, and I'll have a video out on this from Bloomington. Probably won't be till tomorrow because I'll be home late. So
Bluebird.
I'll see you guys, okay?
He's by the building Bluebird.
Yeah, I'm by the Bluebird in downtown Bloomington, right downtown. So
tell her to look for the guy that says, "Hang on, let me." I don't know what else your shirt says.
I can't hear you very well. Say it again.
I said, tell her to look for the guy that has a gray T-shirt that says, "Hang on, let me," whatever it says.
Let me overthink this. I'm right there. Okay, I'm standing in this thing here, so it's the shelter.
She is at
Smallwood. Okay, she's literally about 4 blocks away. I'll be there.
Okay,
I'm out, guys. I'll see you later.
All right.
Keep it Southern style, y'all.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. He's going to go find her. Wow. I did not know about the serial killer, guys. I knew about Dan Messel, and the Jill Berman story and Hannah's story and Lauren's all kind of maybe intertwining, but I did not know about the serial killer, dude. So I'm going to have to look up some more information on him. And we might just have to do a live just about him. Sorry, Boston. I didn't know that that's what you were talking about. And I got behind on comments, so I apologize sincerely. Nancy Lyons also missing. Carthage, Indiana, found her 4 months later in a cornfield in Columbus, Indiana, just 50 minutes. Wow. So that is a 4th woman. Wow. Crazy. Thomas. All right, let's I'm going to stop sharing here. Thomas, I'm dropping the link. If you would like to come up and tell us what you've seen and what your experience is, that would be great. Two hours, 6 minutes. But Israel Keys ended himself in prison. And yeah. There's only 3 of you? Oh, that's so sad. That's the same thing Anthony Greeno just said, that there's not a lot of people there. I was hoping that... Oh, okay. So no, he's not with Anthony. He's with somebody else. I was hoping that we could get more of a presence out there. Thomas, are you finding... Anthony had mentioned that he had talked to some people that knew nothing about the case. Are you finding the same thing? And if you would like to jump on and tell us what you're seeing and experiencing, that would be great. I'm glad that you made it there. I knew you were going there. And then Anthony was able to go. So I'm glad that 2 of our great male YouTube creators are there. And we're going to get 2 different perspectives of what's happening there today. So I'm looking forward to seeing both reports from Thomas and from Anthony. Dee Dee, I've never heard of it, but I met him, Indiana Aunt's house. He was doing construction at neighbor house, came over. Okay, about construction work. I was at Uber driver while I was in college and nobody knew about it. Oh my goodness. So you're finding the same thing, that people just haven't heard about this case. Lots of college kids don't know about it. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure that they don't. You know, I'm sure that's not something that the college is going to talk about on a regular basis. They want college kids to come in. They want parents to feel that their kids are safe. So I can understand that. But at the same time, you've got these college kids around there. And correct me if I'm wrong, nothing has anything happened as far as any missing women in that area since Dan Mezzo went to jail? And since this Israel Keys went to jail? Because if it hasn't, that's a big sign. That would be a big sign to me. Because you would think if there was a possible serial killer in the area with Jill Berman, Hannah, Lauren, the Lyons woman, that there would have been more after they went to jail. You think Jinx was going to? Okay. So we'll have 3 creators, great creators, that will be able to give us details of what's happening there today. Wow. Well, Thomas, thanks so much for letting us know in the chat that you're there, that you're finding the same thing that a lot of people, college people don't know the story of Lauren. We want to get the story back out. We're just going to have to keep doing stories about Lauren, and getting the word back out into that community so that hopefully something happens with this case. We want Lauren to be brought home to her family. And justice may not be in the cards for her family if it turns out that Dan Mezel or this Israel Keys is the one that murdered her, because they are no longer on this earth. That's the weird thing. Most of the students that knew graduated, and the current students are unaware, and they really need to be careful. I agree, Miracle Hearts. I agree. That's why they tell college kids to use the buddy system now when they go out. Yes. So Andrea says none that she's aware of. I guess that is going to be something that I want to dig into more. Find out if there's been any other missing women since these two gentlemen went to jail. Because like I said, if there hasn't been, that's a big tell. Big tell to me that it could be one of these two gentlemen. Amazing. So this is not going to be our only live on Lauren. We're going to look into more things. I'm definitely going to look into Israel Keys, and we'll do a live stream on him, get more information out about him, and about somebody just sent me, okay, on Israel. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have a picture here of him. Thank you to excuse me. Thank you to the individual that just sent this article to me. I am going to share my screen again because, wow. So if we take that and compare it. Thank you, Dee Dee, so much. Who do you think looks closer to the composite? Dan Mezel or Mr. Keys? What do you think, chat? Trying to get this to move over a little bit. Well, here, I can just do it this way. I can take this one down. I can shrink this one. I'll put it on the big screen. I would still say, by looking at these pictures, that Dan looks more like the composite than Mr. Keys. Definitely. I don't know if Mr. Keys ever had short hair like that. That would be something that we would have to look into, get pictures of him, see if he's ever had shaved head like that. But that's a story I'm definitely going to have to dig into. Definitely. Wow. So today, on this 12th year anniversary, I wanted to come on and remember Lauren Spierer. We need more information in Lauren's case. We need to kickstart this case back up. Somebody had to have seen something that morning. This beautiful young girl deserves to be found. Her family deserves to give her a proper burial. And they deserve to know what happened to her. So I want to thank Thomas Frost and Anthony Greeno for contacting us while we were live. Since they are on site in Bloomington today. Can't wait to see their reporting and what comes out of their videos on this. Share this video out, especially in the Indiana, Bloomington area. If you know people, share out any video of Lauren. Get the word around again. Get it circulating again of what happened to her. Somebody has to know something. And if we can help kickstart this again and get the word out and get some fresh tips coming in, that would be great. But you can go on YouTube and get the surveillance video. You can get other videos on her. Share this video out. Share the video that Thomas is going to put out and Anthony Greeno. Anything you can, especially to the people in and around those surrounding areas and all over the world. Somebody knows something. They definitely do. I want to thank you guys for joining me today and learning about Lauren and Hannah and Jill and Ms. Lyons. This will not be the only live that I do on them. And Mr. Keys, we're going to I'm going to research him and do a live stream just on him and see what we can find out. But thank you so much for joining me today. I do have a second stream tonight, and it is about the Tabitha Shuck Rains case, next part in her series. So join me tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern to hear about her case. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you all later tonight. Bye.